Welcome to my channel, Bookish English. Are you shy to speak English? You're not alone. Many learners feel the same. But what if I told you that even shy people can speak English with confidence? In this video, I'll show you step by step how to start a conversation, even if you're scared, nervous, or unsure of the right words. Stay with me till the end. You'll be surprised how easy it becomes. And tell me in the comments, what scares you the most about speaking English? Chapter 1. I was too shy to say hello. I remember it clearly. I was standing in the hallway. 2 students were speaking in English. They were laughing. They looked confident. I wanted to say hello, but my mouth stayed closed. My heart beat fast. My hands felt cold. My mind said, "Say something." But my voice didn't come. I just looked down and walked away. I was not stupid. I knew some English words. I knew how to say hi. I knew how to say, "My name is..." But I was shy. I was scared. I thought they would laugh. I thought I would say it wrong. My mind made it feel like a big mountain. One simple word, hello, felt too heavy, too difficult, too scary. At school, English class was okay. I listened, I read, I wrote, but speaking? I never raised my hand. I never wanted to read out loud. When the teacher looked at me, I looked away. I hoped she wouldn't ask me anything. I was good at hiding. I was good at being quiet. Inside, I wanted to speak. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to make friends. But I was frozen. I watched others speak easily. I listened to their words. I copied their sentences in my notebook. But when it was my turn, everything disappeared. The words were gone. My mind was blank. My voice was missing. It felt like I had 2 worlds. One world was inside my head. In that world, I could speak English. I could answer questions. I could make jokes. I could say, "Hi, how are you?" and smile. The second world was real life. In real life, I was silent. I watched. I listened. But I didn't speak. I hated this feeling. I wanted to break this silence. But every time I tried, fear came. Fear of being wrong. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of not knowing the next word. And because of that fear, I stayed quiet. I remember one day during break time, a boy from another class walked up to me. He said, "Hi." He smiled. I froze. I wanted to say hi back, but nothing came. I just smiled and walked away. That night, I cried. I felt stupid. I felt weak. Why couldn't I say one small word? That was the moment I knew something had to change. I couldn't live in silence forever. I couldn't keep running away. I told myself, it's okay to be shy, but it's not okay to stay silent forever. I made a small plan. I would learn how to start a conversation. I would take baby steps. I would not be perfect, but I would try. That night, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at my reflection. I said one word. Hello. It sounded soft, almost like a whisper. I said it again. Hello. Louder this time. I said it again and again. 10 times. 20 times. Hello, hello, hello. My mouth started to feel more confident. My voice started to feel stronger. I imagined talking to someone, I imagined saying, "Hi, my name is Sam." I practiced it in front of the mirror, again and again. I smiled. I waved. I tried to look confident. I knew it was silly. I knew it looked funny, but I didn't care. I was practicing for real life. The next morning, I walked to school. My plan was simple. Say hi to one person. Just one. That's all. My heart was beating fast. My hands were shaking. But I remembered my mirror practice. I remembered my voice. I took a deep breath. I saw someone from my class. I looked at them and said, "Hi." They looked surprised. Then they smiled. "Hi," they said. And that was it. A small start. A tiny conversation. But for me, it was everything. That hi gave me power. It gave me hope. I felt proud. I felt like I had broken a wall. I was still shy. I was still nervous. But I had started. I had taken the first step. That day changed me. I learned something very important. You don't have to be fluent to start speaking. You don't need big words. You just need courage. One word can open many doors. One hello can start a new story. And if you're watching this right now and you feel the same, scared, shy, silent, I want you to know. I understand. I was there. But you can change too. Just start with one word. Just say, hi. Let's go together, step by step. I'll show you how I learned. I'll tell you what worked for me. And maybe it will work for you too. Chapter 2. I wanted to speak, but my mind went blank. After I said hi that day, I felt strong. I thought, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can talk more. The next day, I wanted to try again. I walked into school with a small plan in my heart. I said, "Today I will speak one more sentence. I will ask, 'How are you?'" I said it many times before I left home. "How are you?" I whispered. "How are you?" I repeated in my head. On the way to school, I said it again and again. I felt ready. But when I saw someone I knew, I forgot everything. My mind went blank. I could not remember the sentence. I stood there. I smiled, but my mouth did not open. The person passed by and said nothing. I missed my chance. I felt angry at myself. Why was it so hard? It was just 3 words, but I forgot them. I forgot how to speak. That day, I learned something very real. Speaking English is not just about words. It is about fear. Fear blocks the brain. It hides the words. Even if you know them, fear makes you forget. Fear says, be quiet. Stay safe. Don't make mistakes. And I listened to that fear. Later that day, I went home and thought deeply. I remembered the sentence, "How are you?" I knew it again. My mind was clear. I asked myself, why do I forget when I see people? The answer was simple. I was nervous. I was shy. I wanted to speak perfectly, and that made me stop speaking at all. I decided to change that. I said, it's okay to forget. It's okay to be nervous, but I will not stop trying. That night, I stood in front of the mirror again. I looked at myself and said, "How are you?" I added, "I'm fine, thank you." Then, "What about you?" These small sentences were like a small song. I repeated them again and again. The next morning, I felt better. I told myself, don't try to be perfect. Just try. I saw a classmate. I smiled and said, "Hi." He said, "Hi," back. Then I said, "How are you?" It was fast. My mouth moved on its own. He smiled and said, "I'm good. You?" I was surprised. I forgot what to say next, but I smiled and said, "Good." It was not perfect. It was short, but it was real. A real conversation, and that made me proud. My heart was still racing. But I didn't run away. I spoke. I did not freeze. That day, I learned something new. When you speak English, your brain and your mouth are like friends. But when fear comes, they stop talking to each other. So I had to train them to be brave together. That's why I practice the same sentence again and again. Repetition is power. Saying it once is not enough. You must say it 10 times, 20 times, until it comes naturally, until it flows like water. That is how I trained my brain. I also learned to speak slowly. When I spoke fast, I made mistakes. When I slowed down, I felt calm. So I told myself, slow is okay. Slow is strong. Sometimes I still forgot words. Sometimes I said them wrong. But I smiled and kept talking. That made all the difference. People saw that I was trying. They helped me. They listened. They smiled back. And every time I spoke, I felt a little more brave, a little more ready. My sentences were not long, but they were real. And that was enough. If you are watching this, and your mind goes blank when you try to speak English, don't worry. It happens to all of us. Even now, I sometimes forget words. But I don't let that stop me. And you shouldn't either. Next time you forget a word, just smile. Take a deep breath, say a different word, or say, "Sorry, I forgot the word." That's still English. That's still brave. Speaking is not about being perfect. Speaking is about trying, even when it's hard, even when your mind is empty. You try, and each time it gets easier. So remember this: if you want to speak, you will speak. Just keep going. Even if your mind goes blank, even if your voice shakes, speak anyway. That's how confidence is built. I will walk with you. I will show you how I learned to speak. You are not alone. Together, we can do this. Chapter 3: How I Learned 3 Magic Sentences. After I spoke those first words, "Hi" and "How are you?" something changed. A small light turned on inside me. It was not bright yet, but it was there. I had taken the first step. I had tasted the joy of speaking. I wanted more, but I didn't know what to say next. That night, I sat with my notebook. I opened a clean page. At the top, I wrote, "How to start a conversation." Under that, I stared at the empty lines. I didn't want big grammar rules. I didn't want long sentences. I just wanted words that would help me talk to someone. Simple words, friendly words. I remembered something my English teacher once said. Good conversation starts with 3 things: a greeting, your name, and a question. That helped me. So I wrote 3 simple sentences, 3 magic sentences. The first one was, "Hi, how are you?" The second was, "My name is Alex." And the third was, "What's your name?" I said them out loud. "Hi, how are you? My name is Alex. What's your name?" They sounded soft, kind, and safe. They were not scary. They were normal. And that's what I needed. I practiced these 3 sentences like they were part of a song. I repeated them again and again. I said them in the morning. I said them in the evening. I whispered them when I walked. I said them in front of the mirror. Sometimes I said them with a smile, sometimes with a serious face. I made my voice stronger each day. The more I said them, the more they felt like mine, like my tools, my weapons against silence, my key to new friendships. I wanted to test them in real life. So I made a plan. I would use all 3 sentences with someone new. I waited for the right moment. It came one afternoon during lunch. A student I didn't know sat next to me. My heart started beating fast. My mouth felt dry. But I remembered my practice. I turned to him and said, "Hi, how are you?" He looked at me and smiled. "I'm good. You?" I nodded and said, "My name is Alex." "Oh, cool," he said. "I'm Bilal." Then I asked, "What's your name?" Even though he had just told me. We both laughed. It was okay. That moment was powerful. It was short, but it felt big. It was a full circle. I had spoken 3 complete sentences, and the other person replied. We had a real conversation. After that, I felt more confident. I realized that I didn't need hundreds of words. I didn't need perfect grammar. I just needed these small, friendly sentences. Over the next few days, I used them again. I said, "Hi, how are you?" to my teacher. "My name is Alex," to a new student. "What's your name?" to a boy in the library. Each time I used these magic sentences, the conversation opened. People smiled. They answered. They talked. One day someone asked me, "Where did you learn to speak like this?" I smiled and said, "Just 3 sentences. I practice them every day." They laughed and said, "Well, it's working." That day, I added something new to my notebook. I wrote, 3 magic sentences can open many doors. And it was true. These sentences helped me stop being afraid. They helped me speak first. They helped me feel human, not shy. If you are shy and you don't know how to start speaking, try this. Write your own 3 magic sentences. Say them 10 times a day. Say them to the wall, to your mirror, to your teddy bear. It doesn't matter. What matters is that your mouth gets used to the words. What matters is that your fear becomes smaller. You don't need to know everything. You don't need big words. You just need the courage to speak first. And these 3 sentences are your helpers. Even now, when I meet someone new, I still say, "Hi, how are you?" It never gets old. It always works. It's a simple way to say, "I'm here. I want to talk." And if you're watching this right now, I want you to try it too. Say the first sentence out loud, right now, wherever you are. Just say it. "Hi, how are you?" Don't worry if no one is there. Just say it. That is your first step. Now, let's go deeper. What if you want to talk more? What if you want to have a real chat, not just say hello? That's what I'll show you in the next part. Chapter 4. I practiced alone in my room, and it worked. After I learned my 3 magic sentences, I felt good. But I knew something. Saying hi, how are you was a good start. But I wanted more. I wanted to talk about simple things. I wanted to ask and answer real questions. But still, I was shy. I could not practice with people every day. So I found a secret way to practice. I started talking to myself. Yes, that's right. I talked to myself, in my room, in the mirror, on my bed, in a whisper, sometimes out loud. At first I felt strange. I thought, is this silly? But I remembered something my teacher once said. If you don't have someone to talk to yourself. That is also speaking. So I began. I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at my own face. I said, "Hi, how are you?" Then I answered, "I'm good." "What about you?" I asked, "What's your name?" Then I said, "My name is Alex." It felt like a game. I was playing 2 people. I asked and I answered. I smiled at myself. I made eye contact. I practiced using my voice. I saw how my face looked when I talked. I learned to speak clearly. Every day after school, I went to my room. I closed the door. I stood in front of the mirror. I made up small conversations. I imagined I was talking to someone new. I said things like, "Hi, do you like football? What did you eat today?" I watched a cartoon. It was funny. They were short sentences, but they were real. They helped me feel like I was speaking. Slowly, I felt stronger. My voice became louder. My fear became smaller. Some days, I walked around the room and talked. I described things I saw. I pointed to the table and said, "This is a table." I pointed to the window and said, "The sky is blue." I looked at my shoes and said, "These are my shoes." I also practiced asking myself questions. I would say, "What day is it?" Then I would answer, "It's Monday." Or I would ask, "What time is it?" and answer, "It's 4 o'clock." It became a fun habit. It felt safe. No one was watching me. No one was judging me. No one laughed. It was just me and my English. Sometimes I recorded my voice. I used my phone. I spoke simple sentences and listened to how I sounded. At first, I didn't like my voice. It sounded different. But with time, I liked it. I listened again and again. I said, "Wow, I am speaking English. I am learning." I also wrote short talks in my notebook. I wrote fake conversations. I wrote A, hi, B, hello, A, how are you? B, I'm fine. What about you? Then I read them out loud. I acted them out. I played both parts. It felt like real practice. My English started to grow. One day, I went to the shop with my father. The shopkeeper smiled at us. I smiled back and said, "Hi." Then, without thinking, I added, "How are you?" He said, "I'm good." I felt proud. It was a small moment, but a big win for me. That night, I looked in the mirror and said, "It worked." All my practice worked. If you are shy, if you don't have someone to speak with, Don't worry. You can speak with yourself. You can use your mirror. You can talk to your books. You can walk around your room and say what you see. It may feel strange at first, but it's real. It's helpful. And it works. Don't wait for someone else. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Start today. Even if it's one sentence. Even if it's just, I am learning English. That is a great start. I still practice alone sometimes. When I learn a new word, I say it many times. I use it in a sentence. I repeat it until it feels normal. That's how your brain gets stronger. That's how your tongue learns to move. And remember this. Every great speaker once spoke alone. Every confident person once stood in front of a mirror and said their first, hello. You are not alone. You are on the right path. Keep going. I'm here with you. And in the next chapter, I'll tell you what happened when I used my practice in real life. When I had my first real conversation. It was scary, exciting, and something I'll never forget. Chapter 5. My first real conversation. I was shaking. I had practiced every day, in my room, in front of the mirror. I said the same sentences again and again. I was getting better. I could say, hi, how are you, without fear. I could say, my name is Alex. I could ask, what's your name? My voice was louder. My face looked more confident. I felt ready. But I still had one fear. Real people. Real situations. I had not yet spoken to someone in a full, real conversation. I had only said short lines, just greetings, no real talk. One day, everything changed. It was a warm morning. I went to school early. I saw a new student sitting alone on a bench. He looked nervous. He looked like he didn't know anyone. I felt something in my chest. My heart started beating fast. My legs felt weak. My mind said, go talk to him. But fear said, what if you make a mistake? I stood there. I looked at him. I looked at the ground. I took a deep breath. And then I walked toward him. Each step felt heavy. I felt like I was walking through water. My hands were shaking. My mouth was dry. But I remembered my mirror. I remembered my words. I stood in front of him and said, hi. He looked up. He smiled. Hi. My heart was racing, but I smiled back. I said, how are you? He replied, I'm okay. You? I said, I'm fine. Then I added, my name is Alex. What's your name? He said, I'm Imran. And just like that, it happened. My first real conversation. It was short. It was simple. But it was real. I sat next to him. I asked, is this your first day? He said, yes. I'm new here. I said, don't worry. I can help you. He smiled again. He looked happy. I felt proud. My fear was still there. My hands still felt a little shaky. But I had done it. I had spoken. I had started a real conversation. I had connected with someone. In English. That day, everything felt different. I walked into class with more confidence. I raised my hand to answer a question. I smiled more. I felt like something big had changed inside me. Later that day, Imran came and sat next to me during lunch. He said, "Thanks for talking to me this morning." I was nervous. I laughed and said, "Me too." We both laughed. We both understood each other, and we both felt less alone. That small talk turned into a friendship. We started speaking English every day. We made mistakes. We laughed. We helped each other. Each conversation made me better, more confident, more fluent. That's when I understood something big. Speaking English is not about big words. It's about connection. It's about courage. It's about starting. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a perfect accent. You need a brave heart. You need a few simple words and a little smile. If you are watching this right now and you are scared to speak, I understand. I was scared too. But I did it. And so can you. The first time will be hard. Your hands might shake. Your heart might beat fast. But after that first conversation, you will feel proud. You will feel strong. You will know that you can do it again. So go out. Say hi to someone. Ask a question. Listen to their answer. Just start. That's how it begins. And when you feel ready, come back for the next part. I will tell you about something important. How my mistakes helped me grow. Yes, my mistakes. The words I said wrong, the sentences I forgot, they didn't stop me. In fact, they made me brave. Chapter 6. Mistakes that made me brave. After my first real conversation with Imran, I felt proud. I wanted to speak more. I started saying hi to more people. I started asking small questions. I wanted to talk in English every day. But soon, I made a mistake. I was talking to a classmate. I wanted to say, "I like reading books," but instead I said, "I like reading boots." He looked confused. Then he laughed. I laughed too, but inside I felt bad. I thought, why did I say that? That's so silly. That day I went home and sat on my bed. I thought about the mistake. The word books and boots sounded close, but they meant different things. I felt sad at first. I thought maybe I should stop speaking. Maybe I'm not good at this. But then I asked myself, did I die? Number, did anyone get angry? Number, was I trying to speak? Yes. So I told myself, it's okay. You tried. That's what matters. The next day, I made another mistake. I said, he go to school. My friend said, you mean he goes to school? I nodded quickly. Yes, he goes to school. I made a mistake with grammar. But again, no one got angry. No one shouted. They just corrected me. And I learned. I started to notice something. Each time I made a mistake, I remembered the sentence more clearly. The mistake helped me learn. It made the lesson stronger in my mind. Before, I was afraid of mistakes. I thought they were bad. I thought they made me look stupid. But now, I saw the truth. Mistakes are teachers. Mistakes are part of learning. I changed how I looked at mistakes. I stopped hiding from them. I started using them. If I said something wrong, I repeated it correctly. If someone corrected me, I said, thank you. One day I said, I am boring. My friend laughed kindly and said, you mean I am bored? I was surprised. What's the difference? I asked. She said, boring means you are not fun. Bored means you want something fun. I laughed. I said, okay, then I am bored. That mistake taught me something I never forgot. Not just the grammar, but the joy of learning through mistakes. The moment was funny, real, and helpful. Now, when I talk to people, I don't care if I make a mistake. I keep going. I fix it. I smile. I learn. That's how I got better. And you can too. Don't wait to be perfect. You will never be perfect. Even native speakers make mistakes. Even teachers forget words. Even I, right now, still make small errors. But I speak anyway. Speaking is not about being perfect. Speaking is about being brave. Every mistake shows that you are trying. Every mistake brings you one step closer to fluency. So make them. Make many. Make big ones. Make small ones. Just don't stop speaking. I even made a mistake notebook. I wrote my wrong sentences. Then I wrote the right ones next to them. Every time I read it, I smiled, because it showed my progress. One day, I was speaking to a tourist. I made a small mistake. I said, "It is rain today." She smiled and said, "It's raining today." I nodded, "Yes, yes, thank you." And we kept talking. That one conversation taught me something more. Most people don't laugh. Most people help. They want to understand you. They are happy that you are trying. So don't be afraid. Make mistakes. Be proud of them. They are not failures. They are footsteps. They are proof that you are moving forward. If you are watching this right now and you feel scared to speak because you might say it wrong, I understand you. But I want you to take that fear and throw it away. You are a learner, and mistakes are your friends. Speak, mess up, learn, speak again. This is how we grow. In the next chapter, I'll show you something powerful, real phrases that helped me speak to people every day. I call them conversation starters. They are easy, fun, and they work. Chapter 7. Conversation. Starters I use every day. After learning from my mistakes, I started feeling different. I was not afraid like before. I didn't need to wait for someone to speak to me first. I could speak. I could start the conversation. But I still had one question in my mind. What should I say? I didn't want to just say hi and stop. I wanted to say more. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to talk, not just answer. So I started learning something important. Conversation starters. These are small, simple questions. Easy questions. Friendly questions. Questions that open the door to speaking. I remember the first one I used. I saw a classmate drawing in his notebook. I walked to him slowly. I smiled. Then I said, "Do you like drawing?" He looked at me and said, "Yes." "I love drawing." I said, "Your drawing is really good." He smiled and said, "Thanks." We started talking. Just like that. Because of one small question. That evening, I opened my notebook. I wrote down the question, "Do you like?" Then I added many more. "Do you like music? Do you like football? Do you like pizza? Do you like school?" These small questions are powerful. They are friendly. They make people talk. They show interest. And they are easy to answer. The next day, I used another question. I asked a girl in class, "What's your favorite subject?" She said, "Math." I said, "Really? I like English." We smiled. We talked. We became friends. That night, I added this to my notebook too. "What's your favorite?" Then I wrote more ideas. "What's your favorite movie?" "What's your favorite color?" "What's your favorite food?" I realized something very powerful. People like to talk about themselves. If you ask a good question, they will answer. And when they answer, you can listen. Then ask another small question. That's how you keep the conversation going. I practiced every question in front of the mirror. I said, "Do you like music? What's your favorite song? Where are you from? What do you do after school? Do you have any pets?" I didn't try to remember 100 questions, just 5 or 6. I used them again and again, and they worked. One day at the park, I saw a boy kicking a football. I walked closer and said, "Do you like football?" He looked at me and said, "Yes." Then I said, "Who's your favorite team?" He said, "Barcelona." I said, "Mine is Real Madrid." We laughed, we talked, we played together, all because of one easy question. Now, I use these conversation starters every day, at school, at the market, in the library, on the phone, even online. They are part of my English. They help me feel strong. They help me feel confident. They help me feel like I can talk to anyone. If you are watching this and you don't know what to say when you meet someone, start with these. You don't need big grammar. You don't need long sentences. Just one question, one smile. Here, I'll give you 5 to remember. Do you like music? What's your favorite food? Where are you from? What do you do on weekends? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Practice them. Say them in the mirror. Say them out loud. Say them to your friends. These are your keys. These are your tools. These are your voice. And if someone doesn't reply, that's okay. Try again with someone else. You are learning. You are growing. You are doing something powerful. In the next chapter, I will tell you something even more useful: how to keep a conversation going. After the first question, what do you say next? How do you keep talking? We will learn that next. Chapter 8: How to keep a conversation going. After I learned how to start a conversation, I felt proud. I could walk up to someone and say, "Do you like music?" Or, "What's your favorite subject?" People answered. They smiled. They talked. But soon, I had a new problem. After the first question, I didn't know what to say next. The person would answer, and then I would go quiet. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I didn't know how to continue. So the conversation stopped. It felt like starting a car, but then not driving anywhere. One day I asked a classmate, "What's your favorite color?" She said, "Blue." I smiled and said, "Nice." Then silence. I just nodded. I wanted to say more, but I couldn't. The moment ended too fast. That day I went home and thought hard. I asked myself, how can I keep talking? What comes after the first question? I looked at some videos. I read some simple conversations in books, and then I understood something very helpful. There are two ways to keep a conversation going. Ask a follow-up question. Say something about yourself, and it sounded so easy. So I wrote these 2 steps in my notebook and made a plan. First, follow-up questions. These are small questions you ask after someone answers. For example, why? Really? Me too. When did you start? That's cool. Tell me more. These words are short but powerful. They show the other person you are listening. They help the conversation grow. I practiced this at school. I asked a boy, "What's your favorite sport?" He said, "Cricket." This time I didn't stop. I said, "Oh, nice. Why do you like cricket?" He smiled. "It's fun. I play every weekend." Then I said, "Really? That's great. Where do you play?" We kept talking. It worked. Next, I practiced talking about myself. This is the second step. After the other person answers, you say something about you too. It's like giving something back. For example, me. Do you like pizza? Friend. Yes. Me. Me too. I like cheese pizza the most. Now the person knows something about me too. That helps build connection. Sometimes I used both steps together. I asked, "Do you have any pets?" The girl said, "Yes, I have a cat." I replied, "Really? What's its name?" Then I added, "I don't have a pet, but I like cats." Just like that, the conversation became longer. It became friendly. It became fun. I started using small words that showed I was listening. Words like, "Wow, that's nice. Oh, I didn't know that. Same here." These little words made people feel good. They made me sound natural. And I learned something very important. You don't have to talk all the time. Just show that you care. Show that you are listening. That is enough. When I didn't know what to say, I just nodded. I smiled. I said, "Wow, that's interesting." Or I asked, "What happened next?" That was the secret. Conversations are not just about speaking. They are also about listening. Now I could keep a conversation going for 1 minute, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes. I felt excited. I felt proud. One day, a teacher told me, "You're speaking so well now. What changed?" I smiled and said, "I just kept going." And that's the truth. Speaking is not about big words. It's about small steps. One question, one answer, one smile, again and again. If you are watching this, and your conversations stop too soon, don't worry. Learn these 2 steps. Ask follow-up questions. Talk a little about yourself. Try it today. Try it with a friend, a family member, or even in the mirror. Ask something. Listen. Answer. Then ask again, like a small game. In the next chapter, I will share something beautiful, how all these small talks helped me become more social, more open, more brave. It changed my life. Chapter 9. From silent to social. My confidence grows. I still remember the quiet days, the days when I didn't speak, when I sat alone and watched others talk, when English felt like a wall I couldn't climb. I was shy. I was scared. I thought, maybe I will never be able to speak like them. But now, things were different. I had learned how to start a conversation. I had learned how to keep it going. I had made mistakes and kept going. I had asked questions, smiled, listened, and tried again. And step by step, something changed. I started talking more at school. I didn't wait for someone to speak first. I said hi with a smile. I asked, "How was your day?" I joined small group talks. At first, I just listened. Then I said one sentence, then two. Then I laughed with them. I became part of the group. One day, during break, a teacher came and sat near me. She said, "You speak so well now. You were so quiet before. What happened?" I looked at her and smiled. "I started with one word," I said, "and I never stopped." That small answer made me realize something. I was not the same anymore. I had changed. I was not the shy boy sitting alone. I was not afraid to speak now. I was not hiding. I was showing up, speaking up, and feeling strong. I even started helping other students who were shy. I told them, "It's okay. I was just like you." Try saying this sentence. I shared my 3 magic lines. I told them to practice in front of the mirror. I told them to make mistakes. I saw myself in them. And I gave them the same hope I once needed. One afternoon, my friend Imran and I walked home from school. He said, "You talk so much now. I remember the first time you said hi to me. You were so quiet." I laughed. "I was shaking," I said, "but I'm glad I did it." We both laughed. That was a full circle moment. I began speaking at school events. Small things, reading a poem, telling a story, even saying thank you on the stage. My hands still shook sometimes, but I did it. I stood tall. I spoke in English, and people clapped. My confidence grew day by day. Not because I became perfect, but because I kept going. I made English part of my daily life. I watched cartoons in English. I listened to songs. I wrote small notes in English. I talked to myself. I talked to others. I even started dreaming in English. Yes. One night, I dreamed I was talking to someone in English. In the dream, I was not scared. I was smiling. I woke up and smiled. That was a big moment for me. I told myself, "You did it. You changed. And you can too." If you feel silent now, just know it's not forever. You can speak. You can grow. You can change. Start small. One sentence, one smile, one question, then another, and another. Speak in your room. Speak in front of your mirror. Speak to your friend. Speak to a stranger. But speak, because speaking is power. It makes you brave. It opens doors. It changes how people see you and how you see yourself. From silent to social, that was my journey, and it can be yours too. In the final chapter, I will tell you one last message, the most important message. If you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. You can speak too. Just start small. Chapter 10. You can speak too. Just start small. Now that you've heard my story, I want to leave you with one important message. You can speak too. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. What matters is that you keep going every single day. You start small, and step by step, you will see progress. I started as a person who couldn't even understand English. I didn't know how to join a conversation. I was scared. I was shy. But here I am, speaking to you, telling you my story, and sharing what I've learned. You might feel afraid now, but let me tell you, fear is normal. Everyone feels it. Even the people you admire. They were once where you are now. They were once afraid to speak. But they didn't give up, and neither should you. The key is to start small. You don't need to speak perfectly right away. You don't need to be fluent from the start. No one expects that. All you need to do is take one small step. One word. One sentence. Don't worry about making mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson. Every time you speak, you grow. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Soon, you'll be speaking without thinking, just like me. And before you know it, you'll be confidently speaking with others, learning new words, and sharing your thoughts in English. Remember, no matter how quiet you feel right now, you have the power to change. You have the ability to learn and grow. And it all starts with one simple decision: to begin. So here's what I want you to do right now. Start small. Say one sentence in English today. Maybe you'll say, "Good morning" to someone. Maybe you'll introduce yourself. Maybe you'll read aloud from a book. Speak every day. Make it a habit. Speak to yourself. Speak in the mirror. Speak with your friends. The more you speak, the better you'll get. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are part of the process. They will teach you more than perfection ever will. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask your teacher, your friends, or even me. We are all here to help you succeed. And remember, I was once just like you. I was afraid. I was quiet. But I made the choice to start small and keep going. You can do it too. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. You have everything you need to succeed. Just start, speak, and keep going. Thank you for watching, and I hope you feel inspired to take that first step. If this story touched your heart, if you feel shy but still dream of speaking English, then don't stop here. Start today. Say one sentence, and come back tomorrow for the next. Please like this video if you believe you can speak English too. Comment below with one simple sentence, just one, in English. Let's practice together. I will read your comment. I will cheer for you. And don't forget to subscribe to Bookish English, because your English journey is just beginning, and I will be here with you every single step. Welcome to my channel Bookish English. I have a question. Can you talk about your day in English? What do you say after I woke up? Many learners freeze here, but don't worry, you are not alone. Today, I will show you how to talk about your whole day. Even if you know only a few words, you can do this. Comment below. What time do you wake up every day? Let me know. Let's begin. Chapter 1. I wake up. I wake up. The sun comes in my window. My eyes open slowly. I feel tired. I want to sleep more. But it is morning. I sit up in bed. I take a deep breath. The room is quiet. I look around. My day is beginning. I say to myself, "Good morning." These are my first English words today. I want to speak English every day. So I start now. Even if I am alone, I say, "Good morning." It feels nice. My voice is soft. But I hear it. I understand it. That is a big step. I get out of bed. I stretch my arms. I walk to the bathroom. I say, "I go to the bathroom." I look in the mirror. I smile. Then I say, "I brush my teeth." I pick up my toothbrush. I say, "This is my toothbrush." I start to brush. 1, 2, 3. I count in English. It helps me stay in the language. Then I wash my face. The water is cold. I say, "I wash my face." I look in the mirror again. I say, "I look tired, but I feel good." These small sentences help me. They are part of my day. They are part of my practice. I go back to my room. I get dressed. I say, "I put on my clothes." I choose a shirt. I say, "This shirt is blue." I wear pants. I say, "These are my pants." I sit on my bed again. I take 1 minute. I look outside. The sky is blue. I say, "It is sunny." Or I say, "It is cloudy." Every sentence is a chance. Every sentence is learning. At first, it felt strange, talking to myself in English. But now it feels normal. It is my secret way to practice. I don't need a class. I don't need a partner. I only need to talk about my real life. And morning is the best time. Because every day starts the same. I can say the same words again and again. That is good for learning. When I started, I didn't know what to say. I only knew a few words. Wake up, brush teeth, eat. But I said them every day, and my brain started to remember. The words got easier. The sentences got longer. Now I say, "I wake up at 7 a.m. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I feel fresh." These are small steps, but they are big wins. Sometimes I use my phone. I open the camera. I look at myself. I say, "Good morning. Today is Monday." I feel happy. I record it. I listen. I smile. I am learning. Even if it's not perfect, it is progress. That gives me hope. Many learners don't speak because they wait for a perfect sentence. But I don't wait. I speak. Even if it's simple, even if it's slow, I speak because this is how I grow. And you can grow too. You don't need big grammar. You don't need hard words. Just say what you do. Say what you see. Say what you feel. In the morning, I say, "I am sleepy." After my shower, I say, "I feel better." I look in my bag. I say, "This is my notebook. This is my pen. These are the things I use. These are the words I need." English is all around me. I only have to see it and speak it. One day, I could not say one sentence. Now, I talk about my morning in English. That is not magic. That is practice. Small practice. Daily practice. That is the secret. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, try this. Say 3 sentences in English. Look around your room. What do you see? What do you do? Speak out loud. No one is watching. No one is judging. You are safe. You are free to speak. You are not just learning English. You are changing your mind. You are training your brain. This is not just a routine. This is power. The power of simple English. The power of one new sentence every day. And one day, you will smile and say, I remember the first time I said, I wake up. That was the beginning. Now I can speak. Let's keep going. Chapter 2. I eat breakfast. After I wake up and get ready, I feel hungry. My stomach makes a sound. It says, feed me. So I go to the kitchen. I say, I eat breakfast. These 4 words are my new English practice. I speak them slowly. I say, I eat breakfast. It is simple, but it is English, and I am using it. I open the cupboard. I take out a plate. I say, this is my plate. I open the fridge. I see eggs. I say, I eat eggs. I take out bread. I say, I like bread. I see butter. I say, I put butter on my bread. Each action becomes a sentence. Each sentence becomes practice. I don't need hard grammar. I only need real life. I sit at the table. I say, I sit at the table. I take a bite. I say, I eat my breakfast. I drink water. I say, I drink water. If I drink tea, I say, I drink tea. If I eat fruit, I say, I eat a banana. These small sentences help me speak. I am not reading a book. I am not filling in blanks. I am living English. That is the best kind of learning. Some days I eat alone. Some days I eat with my family. I say, I eat with my mother. Or, my brother eats with me. I ask simple questions. Do you want tea? Is this your cup? These are beginner sentences, but they are powerful, because I use them in my real morning. Sometimes I feel lazy. I want to skip practice. But then I remember, English is not just about books. It is about life. If I can say, I eat breakfast, then I am growing. If I can say, this is hot, or this is sweet, then I am learning. Even one word helps. I try to add feeling words too. I say, I feel happy, or I feel sleepy. Maybe I say, the tea is warm. It makes me feel good. Now I am not just using English. I am feeling it. I am expressing my world in English. That is how I become fluent, little by little. I also practice with my phone. I open the camera. I say, good morning. Today I eat eggs and bread. I drink tea. I feel fine. I smile at the camera. I watch the video. I say, wow, I can speak. This gives me hope. This gives me joy. When I first started, I did not know these words. I only said, eat, tea, egg. But now I can say, I eat breakfast every day. I like tea. I feel fresh after eating. These are full sentences. These are the result of small practice. You don't need a teacher for this. You are your own teacher. Just look at your food. Talk about it. Say, this is sweet. This is hot. I like this. I don't like that. Even if it's just one sentence, say it. Your brain will listen. Your tongue will remember. Don't wait for perfect English. Use the English you have now. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Speak from your heart. That is enough. That is powerful. Sometimes I think of new words. I ask, what is this in English? I check my phone. I learn one new word. Maybe it is spoon. Maybe it is milk. I say it out loud. This is a spoon. I drink milk. And now I have 2 more tools in my English box. I also try to repeat. I say the same sentences every morning. I eat breakfast. I drink tea. I feel good I don't change them. Repeating helps. Repeating makes me faster. Repeating makes me confident. I remember when I could not say anything. Now I can say what I eat. That is big progress. That is proof that I am learning. That is why I smile in the morning. If you are learning English, do this tomorrow. When you eat, speak. Say simple things. Say them out loud. Even if you're alone, speak. Don't think, I will speak later. Speak now. This is your moment. One day, you will sit at a table with someone who speaks English, and you will say, I eat bread. I like tea. And they will understand you. You will smile. They will smile. And you will feel proud. This is how it begins. With breakfast, with small words, with real life. Keep going. You're doing great. Chapter 3. I go to work or school. After breakfast, it's time to leave. I get ready. I pick up my bag. I say, I go to school, or I say, I go to work. These are real words. I use them every day. That means they are important. That means they are good for practice. I walk to the door. I say, I leave my house. I close the door. I say, I lock the door. I take a deep breath. A new part of my day begins. I want to speak English during every part of my day. This part is about going outside. I walk to the street. I look around. I see cars, bikes, people. I say, I see many cars. I see some people. I keep walking. I say, I walk to school. Or, I walk to the bus stop. These words are part of my life. I say them slowly. I feel strong when I say them. If I take a bus, I say, I wait for the bus. When the bus comes, I say, the bus is here. I get on the bus. I sit down. I say, I sit near the window. I look outside. I say, I see trees. I see shops. These sentences are small, but they are real. I do these things every day. Now I speak them in English. Some days I ride a bike. I say, I ride my bike. Some days I go by car. I say, I go in a car. These are useful phrases. I practice them while I travel. I don't need to study from a book. I just look around and speak. I also say how I feel. I feel sleepy. Or, I feel excited. Or, I feel tired. These words help me connect to the language. I don't just speak about actions. I speak about emotions. That makes my English real. That makes it strong. I look at the clock. I say, it is 8 a.m. Time words help me build better sentences. I go to school at 8 a.m. I arrive at 8:15. These words are easy to learn. I use them every morning. If someone is with me, I practice with them. I say, are you ready? They smile. They answer. It becomes a real conversation. I don't need long talks. I need small chats. One question, one answer. That's all it takes to begin. I remember the first time I said, I go to school. It felt strange. My voice was soft. I was unsure. But now, I say it with confidence. Because I said it again and again. That is the key. Say it many times. Say it every day. If you stay at home, you can still practice. You can say, I walk in my house, or I go to the kitchen, or I sit on my chair. Your home is full of English practice. You just need to speak it. Some learners wait for a class to speak, but you don't have to wait. You can talk during your walk. You can talk in the bus. You can talk to yourself in English. It's not strange. It's smart. I also think in English. I look at people and think, he is walking, or she is talking on the phone. These small thoughts are practice. They are quiet, but they are powerful. One day I spoke to a tourist. He asked, where is the station? I answered, go straight, then turn right. I said it in simple English. He smiled and said, thank you. That moment gave me power. It showed me I can use English in the real world. So today, when you go to work or school, speak. Say what you do. Say what you see. Say how you feel. Even 2 words help. Even 1 sentence helps. Just speak. If you do this every day, your English will grow. Your fear will go away. Your brain will learn faster. You will become confident. You don't need to say big things. Just say real things. I walk. I see trees. I wait. I sit. I go. These words are your tools. Use them. Build your English with them. The more you speak, the more you believe. The more you believe, the better you become. Your morning journey is not just a walk to school. It's a path to fluency. Take the first step. Speak now. Chapter 4. I work or study. Now I arrive. I reach school, or I reach work. I take a breath. My day has begun. I say, I start my work, or I start my class. These words help me begin in English, too. I sit on my chair. I open my bag. I take out my notebook. I say, this is my notebook. I write in it. I take out a pen. This is my pen. I use it every day. These small words connect to real life. I look at the clock. It is 9 a.m. I begin. At school, I listen to the teacher. I say, I listen carefully. I read the board. I say, I read what is on the board. I take notes. I say, I write down what I learn. Every action is practice. Every sentence is a chance. At work, I sit at my desk. I say, I work at my desk. I type on my computer. I say, I type emails. I check messages. I talk to coworkers. I say, I speak with my team. These are easy words. These are useful words. These are real. Sometimes my brain feels tired. English feels heavy. But I stop. I take a breath. I say, it's okay. 1 sentence is enough. I say, I study. I try. I grow. And I smile. Because I am learning. I remember when I could not speak at all. Now I can say, I go to school. I sit in class. I study math. I read a book. These are full sentences. These are my steps. Each word is a step forward. I also speak to myself during class or work. In my head, I say, he is the teacher. He is writing. She is asking a question. I think in English. Quietly. But that quiet practice becomes power. When I raise my hand, I say, I have a question. It is a small line, but it is big for me. It takes courage. It takes heart. But I do it. And every time I do, I feel stronger. Sometimes I make mistakes. I say the wrong word. I forget the grammar. I feel shy. But then I remember, mistakes are part of learning. They are not bad. They are good. Because they show I am trying. If I get confused, I ask for help. I say, can you say that again? Or, what does that mean? These sentences help me grow. They show that I am brave. I am not afraid to learn. I also practice small conversations. I say, good morning. I ask, how are you? I say, I am fine, thank you. These are not hard, but they are real. They are how people talk. And I want to talk too. When the teacher asks a question, I try to answer. Maybe I say just a few words, but it matters. I say, this is my answer. Even if I'm wrong, I learn. I listen to others. I learn new words. I say, that's a new word. I will use it tomorrow. I use my notebook to collect these words. I write them down. I say them again and again. I look at them before class. I use them after class. They are my small treasures. I grow one word at a time. When I study, I say, I study English. I read stories. I write sentences. These are real actions. These are real sentences. They help me speak about my learning. That gives me pride. At work, I speak about my tasks. I send emails. I answer calls. I help customers. These are true sentences. I speak them out loud when I am alone. It feels good to say what I do in English. Every word I speak is a step. Every sentence I say is power. I don't wait for the perfect moment. I use the moment I have. That is how I learn. That is how I win. If you are in school or at work, speak about what you do. Say it in simple English. Even if no one is listening, say it. You are training your brain. You are building your voice, and your voice is strong. Every day you learn a little more. Every day you go a little farther. Keep going. You are doing something amazing. You are not just working. You are not just studying. You are building a new version of yourself. One sentence at a time. Chapter 5. I talk with friends. After I study or while I work, I see my friends. They walk near me. They smile. They say, hi. And I smile too. I say, hello. These simple words are powerful. They make me feel happy. They help me speak English. I say, how are you? My friend says, I'm fine. And you? I answer, I'm good. These are small sentences, but they are real. They are how people talk. I feel proud when I say them, because I am speaking. I am connecting. I sit with my friends. We talk. I say, what are you doing? My friend says, I'm reading. I say, that's nice. I ask, do you like the book? These words are easy, but this is a real conversation. This is how I grow. Sometimes I feel shy. I think, what if I say the wrong word? But then I breathe. I remind myself, making mistakes is okay. My friends are kind. They do not laugh. They help me. They smile. They wait for me to speak. I learn new phrases. I ask, what does that mean? My friend explains. I say, thank you. I write the word down. I try to use it tomorrow. That is how I remember. That is how I learn. With real talk, with real people. Sometimes we joke, we laugh, we say, that is funny. I feel good. I feel included. I feel like part of the group. English helps me feel that way. English helps me belong. When we eat lunch together, I say, this food is good. Or, I like rice. I ask, what do you like? My friend says, I like chicken. I say, me too. These are simple talks, but they are important. They are practice, and they are joy. I remember when I couldn't talk. I sat in silence. I looked at others. I wanted to speak, but the words did not come. I felt sad. I felt small. But now I speak. Slowly, simply, but I speak, and that makes all the difference. I use the same words again and again. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm good, I like this. Thank you. These are my building blocks. I use them every day. I do not wait for new grammar. I use what I know. That is how I get better. One time I forgot a word. I stopped talking. My friend helped me. She said the word for me. I repeated it. I smiled. She smiled. That moment stayed with me. It taught me something. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. We also talk about class. I ask, did you understand the lesson? My friend says, a little. I say, me too. Let's study together. Then we help each other. We learn together. That feels good. Speaking with friends is safe. It is fun. It is full of little moments. These little moments help me grow. I say more. I feel better. I become stronger. Even if your friend speaks your first language, ask, can we try in English? Just one sentence, just for fun. Then try 2 sentences, then 3. You will smile. You will feel proud. If you have no friend around, talk to yourself. Say, I will ask this. I will answer like this. Imagine the talk. Practice it in your mind. This is not strange. This is smart. This is how great speakers begin. You don't need a big vocabulary to speak. You just need your voice, your words, your heart. And you already have those. Talk to one person. Say one sentence. Say it slowly. Say it with joy. You are not just learning English. You are building a new life. A life where you speak. A life where you connect. A life where you are not silent. One sentence can open a door. One smile can open your voice. Talk with friends. Talk without fear. Talk and grow. You are doing so well. Keep speaking. Chapter 6. I eat lunch. After a busy morning, I feel hungry again. My stomach makes a sound. It says, it's time to eat. I smile. I say, it is lunchtime. This is my favorite part of the day, not just because of food, but because it is also time to speak English in a real and easy way. I sit down. I take out my lunch. I look at the food. I say, "This is my lunch." I open my box. I say, "I have rice. I have chicken." I take a spoon. I say, "This is my spoon." I begin to eat. I say, "I eat rice. I drink water." These sentences are easy, but they are powerful because they are true. If I am eating with my friends, I speak more. I say, "This food is hot," or "It is spicy," or "I like the taste." My friend says, "Me too," or "I don't like it." We laugh, we talk, we connect, and all of it happens in English. I ask questions. "What do you have?" My friend says, "I have a sandwich." I say, "It looks good." I ask, "Did you make it?" They say, "Yes." I say, "Nice job." These are small sentences, but they make big moments. They help me speak without fear. Sometimes we share food. I say, "Do you want some?" My friend says, "Thank you." I say, "You're welcome." These kind words build my confidence. They help me feel strong in English. I also talk about feelings. I am hungry. I feel full now. I want more. I like sweet food. These words are easy to say, and they are very useful in life. I remember when I couldn't say anything. I just ate my food in silence. I watched others talk. I felt left out. I wanted to speak, but I was afraid. I was shy. I was quiet. But now, things are different, because I started to speak. One word, one sentence, one day at a time. Sometimes I take a photo of my lunch. I say, "This is my lunch today." I like it. I post it. I use English. It feels fun. It feels good. I'm using what I learn. That's the best way to grow. I also learn food words in English. I see a fruit. I ask, "What is this in English?" I check. I learn. I say, "This is papaya. I like papaya." Then I say it again the next day. It becomes part of my English, part of my voice. You don't need hard grammar to talk about food. You just need your eyes, your hands, and your heart. Look at your lunch. Speak about it. Use simple words. You can say, "I have bread. I eat it. I like it." That's English. That's progress. If you're alone at lunch, talk to yourself. Say, "I am eating rice. It is hot. It tastes good." This is not silly. This is smart. This is how real speakers begin. Lunch is not just a break. It is a practice time. It is a chance. Every bite can be a sentence. Every meal can be a lesson. You don't need a book. You don't need a class. You only need your voice. Sometimes I even close my eyes. I eat and think, how do I say this in English? I feel the food. I find the words. Then I speak, softly, slowly, but clearly. I eat every day, so I can practice every day. That is the secret. Small practice, daily practice, speaking about what is real. That's the best kind of learning. You don't need new tools. You already have what you need. Your mouth, your eyes, your hands, your day. Use them. Speak with them. Say what you eat. Say what you like. Say how you feel. That is your power. That is your English. Lunch is simple, but it is powerful because it is real, and real life is the best classroom. So tomorrow, when you eat lunch, say one sentence in English, then say two, then three. Say them out loud. Say them with pride. You are learning. You are growing. You are doing something amazing. Keep going. Chapter 7. I come home. The day is long. I feel tired. I finish school. I finish work. Now I go home. I say, I go home. These 3 words are simple, but they are the start of something important. They are the start of the evening part of my day. I walk to the bus stop. I say, I wait for the bus. The bus comes. I get on. I say, I sit down. I look out the window. I say, the sun is going down. I feel the day ending, and I speak about it in English. Some days I walk home. I say, I walk to my house. I look at the sky. I say, the sky is orange. I see children playing. I say, they are playing football. I see shops. I say, the shops are open. These are not hard words, but they help me speak about the real world. I reach my house. I open the door. I say, I am home. These words feel warm. They feel safe. I take off my shoes. I say, I take off my shoes. I put down my bag. I say, I put my bag on the chair. These sentences are small, but they are my daily steps, and I speak them. I go to my room. I say, this is my room. I sit on my bed. I say, I feel tired. I smile. I say, it was a good day. Or I say, I feel sleepy. These are my feelings. I speak them in English. They are true. That makes them powerful. I look around my home. I see my things. I say, this is my table. These are my books. This is my phone. Every item becomes a word. Every word becomes a sentence. Every sentence becomes learning. I go to the bathroom. I wash my face. I say, I wash my face. I look in the mirror. I say, I see myself. I am tired, but I feel proud. I spoke English today. I used my voice. I used my mind. I feel strong. Sometimes I sit with my family. I say, I talk with my mother. Or, my brother is watching TV. I listen to their voices. I speak simple sentences. I say, how was your day? They answer. I say, that's nice. These are real talks. These are real steps forward. I also think about what I learned today. I ask myself, what new word did I say today? I try to say it again. I try to use it in a sentence. I say, today I learned home. I say, I am home. I smile. I repeat it. I feel happy. If I made mistakes, I don't feel bad. I say, mistakes help me learn. I know that every speaker starts small, and now I am one of them. I pick up my notebook. I write one sentence. I write, I came home at 5 p.m. I write, I feel tired but proud. These are my words. This is my story. This is my English. I do not wait for big moments to practice. I use small ones. I use real ones. I use the quiet time after I come home. because this time is mine. This time is peaceful, and peace helps me learn. I also talk to myself. I say, I had a long day. I studied hard. I talked with my friend. I ate lunch. I came home. This is like telling a story, my story, in English. That makes me feel strong. That makes me feel good. One day I could not say these things. Now I say them easily. I did not learn them in one day. I learned them little by little, with real life, with small sentences, with my own voice. Coming home is not just the end of the day. It is the start of reflection. It is the time to look back and speak, to say, this was my day, and to say it in English. So when you come home today, take 1 minute. Say, I am home. I take off my shoes. I sit on my bed. I feel tired. I feel happy. Say it softly. Say it clearly. Say it for yourself. That is your practice. That is your progress. You are not just coming home. You are coming closer to fluency, step by step, sentence by sentence. Keep going. You are doing great. Chapter 8. I watch TV or study English. The day is almost over. I come home. I change my clothes. I sit down. I rest. I take a deep breath. My body feels tired, but my mind is still working. Now I do something I enjoy. I say, I watch TV. Or I say, I study English. Sometimes I do both. I pick up the remote. I say, I turn on the TV. I look at the screen. I say, this is a movie. Or, this is a cartoon. Or, this is the news. I sit and watch. I try to listen. If it's in English, I pay attention. I say, I listen to English. That is a big step. That is good practice. I hear a new word. I say, what is that word? I check it on my phone. I write it down. I say it again. I try to remember it. I feel happy. One new word is progress. One word is a gift. Sometimes I watch videos on my phone. I say, this is a YouTube video. I search for English videos. I say, learn English. I find short videos with easy words. I listen. I repeat. I smile. Because I understand more than yesterday. I listen to how people speak. I say the sentences with them. I copy their voice. This is called shadowing. It helps me speak better. I say, this is my way of learning. I don't just watch. I learn. I grow. Some days I don't watch TV. I study English. I open my notebook. I say, I study now. I look at my words. I read my sentences. I say them out loud. I eat lunch. I go home. I watch TV. These are my words, my life, my English. I try to write one sentence about my day. Today I was happy. Or, I talked to my friend. Or, I ate a banana. I read it. I smile. I write one more. That's how I build my skills. One line at a time. I also practice speaking. I say, I speak English now. I talk to myself. I say, I feel good today. I learned a new word. I said a new sentence. I look in the mirror. I speak slowly. I hear my voice. I feel brave. Some days I don't want to study. I feel lazy. I feel tired. But I remember my goal. I want to speak English. I want to grow. I want to connect. So I say, just 1 minute. just one sentence. And I begin. And that 1 minute becomes 5. That one sentence becomes 3. I'm glad I started. I remember when I didn't understand anything. I heard English, and it was just noise. Now I hear words. I hear meaning. I feel proud. That is not magic. That is effort. That is time. That is practice. I also speak with apps. I use learning apps. They show me pictures and words. I say the word. The app listens. It tells me, "Good job." That makes me smile. It feels like a small teacher in my pocket. I practice anywhere, anytime. Sometimes I listen to English songs. I say, "This is a song." I sing along. I don't know every word, but I try. I say, "I can sing in English." That feels special. That feels powerful. Even when I rest, I learn. I say, "I learn with my ears. I learn with my eyes. I learn with my heart." That is real learning. That is learning with love. At night, I write a small note. Today, I watched TV in English. I learned a new word. I practiced speaking. These notes remind me I am not stuck. I am moving. I am becoming the person I want to be. You don't need long hours. You don't need many books. You just need small time, small focus, big heart. That's enough. You are enough. So tonight, when you watch TV or study English, speak one line out loud. Say, "I understand," or "I try," or "I want to speak well." That is a promise to yourself. That is your daily gift. You are learning every day. You are doing something wonderful. Keep going. Keep believing. You are closer than you think. Chapter 9. I eat dinner and talk with family. It is evening now. The sky is dark. The lights are on. I hear sounds in the kitchen, plates, spoons, voices. It is time for dinner. I feel hungry again. I smile and say, "I eat dinner." I go to the kitchen. I see my family. My mother is cooking. My father is sitting. My brother is laughing. I say, "Good evening." They say, "Come, sit with us." I sit down. I feel warm. I feel happy. I feel safe. I look at the food. I say, "This looks good." I say, "I like this," or "This smells nice." I take a spoon. I take a bite. I say, "It is hot," or "It is tasty." These words are easy, but they make me speak. They make me feel part of the moment. We talk while we eat. My father asks, "How was your day?" I answer, "It was good." I learned a new word, or "I talked with my friend in English." My mother smiles. She says, "That's nice." I feel proud. I feel loved. I feel understood. We talk about many things. About school. About work. About food. I say, "Today I was busy." Or "Today was fun." Or "I was tired." These words are part of my story. I say them in English. I share myself. My brother talks about his day. I listen. I ask questions. I say, "Really?" Or "What happened next?" Or "That's funny." We laugh. We connect. English helps me join the moment. It helps me feel close. Sometimes I teach my family a word. I say, "This means," in English. They listen. They smile. They ask me more. I feel like a teacher. That gives me joy. If no one is talking, I still speak to myself. I say, I eat rice. I drink water. I sit with my family. These small sentences are still practice, still power, still English. Sometimes we talk about tomorrow. I say, tomorrow I will study, or I will watch a video, or I will speak more. I make a plan. I say it out loud. I believe it more. When I started, I couldn't say anything at dinner. I just ate in silence. Now I can say small things. I can join the talk. I can ask. I can answer. That is not a small win. That is a big win. Dinner is not just about food. It is about people. It is about sharing. And when I speak English during dinner, I feel something special. I feel progress. I feel confidence. I also learn new words. If I don't know a word for something, I ask, "What is this in English?" I find out. I repeat it. This is spinach. This is soup. This is spicy. I use the word again tomorrow. That's how it becomes mine. After dinner, I help clean. I say, I wash the plates, or I dry the cups. I speak while I work. I say, I like helping, or I feel full, or that was good. These are true words. That makes them strong. Speaking at dinner is easy, because I am home, because I feel safe, because the people around me care. This is the best place to practice, the best place to grow. You don't need big grammar. You don't need long sentences. You only need to speak, even if it's just, I like this, or that was nice. That is enough. That is English. Dinner happens every day. That means you can practice every day. You can build your voice. You can build your confidence. One bite, one word, one sentence at a time. So tonight, when you sit to eat, say one thing in English. Say, I eat dinner. Say, this is tasty. Say, I feel happy. Speak softly. Speak clearly. Speak with your heart. You are not just learning a language. You are building a new life. A life where you can speak. A life where you can share. A life where your words have power. Keep going. The table is not just a place to eat. It is a place to learn. A place to connect. A place to grow. Chapter 10. I sleep and think in English. The day is over. The sky is dark. The stars shine. The room is quiet. I feel sleepy. My body is tired. My eyes close slowly. It is time to sleep. I say softly, I go to bed. I walk to my room. I change my clothes. I say, I wear my nightdress. Or, I put on my pajamas. I fold my clothes. I place them on a chair. I say, I keep my clothes here. Every action is practice. Every sentence is English. I speak them softly. I speak them slowly. I sit on the bed. I look at the clock. I say, it is 10 o'clock. I feel peaceful. I take a deep breath. I think about my day. I remember the morning. I say, I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I ate breakfast. I remember school or work. I say, I studied. I talked with friends. I came home. I remember dinner. I say, I ate with my family. I spoke English. These small memories become small sentences, and these small sentences become my story. Now I lie down. I say, I lie on my bed. I pull the blanket. I say, I cover myself. I look up. I close my eyes. But before I sleep, I do something special. I think in English. I say in my mind, today was a good day. I think, I spoke English. I learned new words. I made sentences. I feel proud. I smile. This is my success. This is my journey. Some days, I speak out loud before sleep. I say, I am strong. I am learning. I will speak English. These words go into my heart. I believe them. I feel calm. I feel ready for tomorrow. I know I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I forget words. But I keep going. I don't give up. I say, I will try again tomorrow. This is the power of practice, not once, not twice, but every day. Sometimes I listen to English before sleep. I play a short video. I hear soft voices. I hear simple words. I say the words in my mind. This is peaceful. This is learning in silence. My ears hear. My brain learns. Even in sleep, I grow. I also imagine small stories. I think, I am walking in a park. I see a friend. I say, hello, how are you? I create the story in English. I become the storyteller. This is fun. This is helpful. This makes my English stronger. Before, I used to sleep in silence. I did not speak. I did not think in English. I was scared. I felt alone. But now, I speak one line before sleep. I say, I am learning. I am growing. And I feel safe. English is not only for class, it is for life. And life happens every day, even at night, even when I am alone. That is why I use this time. That is why I speak softly in the dark. Because I know these small sentences will become big results. One day, I will speak English without fear. One day, I will speak to anyone, anywhere. I believe that. And every night I remind myself of that. I say, I can do it, and I will. So tonight, before you sleep, try this. Say one sentence in English. Say, I feel tired. Or, today was good. Or, I want to learn more. Say it with love. Say it with hope. It does not have to be loud, just honest, just true. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel proud. You did your best today. You showed up. You practiced. You spoke. That is a big success. Now rest. Sleep with peace. Sleep with English. Sleep with belief. Because you are not just learning English. You are building your voice. You are becoming the person you dreamed of. Good night. If this video helped you, please like it. Comment below. What part of the day is hardest to talk about in English? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We share simple, emotional, and powerful English practice every week. You're not alone. We are learning together. Keep speaking. Keep growing. And remember, your English is not just good, it's becoming great.